Welcome, everyone. We are so excited for you all to be here today. We've been working through our tech check this morning, so thanks for coming in and being ready to go. I'm going to kick it over to Dr. Naomi Hanley to get us started.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Eatlin. So, we are excited to have you here today to talk about uplifting student voices. Our goal is to give you an event that gives you tools and strategies that you can use and learn from. So, today, please stay muted unless you're speaking. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat. And today's event is being recorded, so please be mindful of that. We will also have a survey at the end of today's discussion, so be ready for that. All right. We hope that you are ready to rock and roll and get started. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I am Naomi Handley. I am part of the Bounce Grand Rounds Committee, and I'd like to take a few moments to talk about Bounce. So, Bounce builds the resilience of children and adults and families by improving knowledge about the impact of adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, and the skills it takes to help people to bounce back from adversity. This work includes education and training about ACEs and strategies to create more healing centered, trauma informed environments. We have evaluation services to measure impact, and we have advocacy and policies. We advocate through policy that prevents trauma and support people who have experienced trauma. Grand Rounds is a community learning opportunity that we offer biannually to foster cross-sector collaboration on topics related to building a more resilient and trauma-informed community. So again, we thank you for being here. But before we begin, I want to acknowledge our partners at Aetna and the CE&S Foundation for supporting this event. We're so grateful for their support, which makes this learning opportunity possible and other Grand Round opportunities possible. So today, we are joined by a representative from Aetna, Julie Horens Easley. She is the Director of Strategic Engagement and Organizational Transformation, and she'll provide a few remarks.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bounce Grand Rounds. I'm Julie Horan Easley with Sky, and I'm so grateful to be with you all today. On behalf of Aetna Better Health of Kentucky, I want to thank the Bounce team for the opportunity to participate, because here at Sky, we are really proud to support this work and the providers, advocates, community partners, families, youth who make a difference in the lives of Kentucky's children every day. So, for the past 5 years, the SKY program has worked alongside young people, families, caregivers, providers, and community partners to build a stronger system of care. And one of the most important lessons I think we have all learned is it's the simplest at its core that we achieve better outcomes when we have young people at the table, not viewed as merely recipients of the services, but are actively participating in shaping them. Uplifting youth voice means creating meaningful opportunities for young people to tell us what they need, what is working, and where our systems are falling short. And it also means listening with humility and closing the feedback loop by showing how their experiences actively influence our decisions. Sky's approach is deeply connected to trauma informed care, and every single interaction we have with our member matters. When we take the time to listen carefully, recognize individual strengths, and provide young people with choices, we help create environments and programs where young people feel respected and empowered. Aetna Better Health of Kentucky is actively turning this commitment into practical opportunities through our Journey to Independence staffings, which begin at age 14, and partnerships focused on education, employment, and life skills. We are helping young people prepare for adulthood. Our new Life Skills Lab in Jefferson County is at the Goodwill Opportunity Center, and it's just one example of that work, creating a space where people can build confidence and develop real-world skills that help turn their pathways into greater independence. And so, if you all have not been to the Goodwill Opportunity Center in Jefferson County, I would encourage you to do so. We would love for you all to go look at our space and refer your members to participate in that. So, as we look ahead, our responsibility is not simply to serve the next generation for a finite amount of time, but it's to equip them for the future, listen to their wants and needs, and make room for them to lead. So, thank you all for being here and for helping us build systems that are more compassionate and effectively meeting the needs of Kentucky's young people. Thank you all so much for having us at the table.
Well, thank you so much, Julie with Aetna and Nicole with CE&S Foundation for being here today. We're so grateful for you, and we could not do this work without you. So thank you so much for being here. I'm Hannah Edlin. I'm the Director of Policy and Advocacy for Kentucky Youth Advocates and also the Project Manager Support for the Bounce Coalition. As you all know, Grand Rounds is intended to expand knowledge on adverse and positive childhood experiences. Sowing Seeds with Faith is here today with youth to talk about their signature programming event, Teen Talks. And Teen Talks is a prime example of a positive childhood experience that increases access to healthy relationships, nurturing environments, opportunities to engage, and explorations for emotional growth. And we know that these types of experiences, like Teen Talks, they buffer the impacts of adversity and they're connected to so many positive outcomes. So I'm so excited today to be joined by Sowing Seeds with Faith. Their mission is to empower, equip, and engage the youth of the greater Louisville area to navigate college and career readiness through various pathways by setting high expectations, promoting accountability, providing structured support, and instilling values that are grounded in faith. And they aim to cultivate a culture that inspires a holistic approach that develops youth on their journey toward success and fulfillment. So I'm so excited to pass it over today to the people that make it possible to talk a little bit more about their work and what they do. So today I'm joined by Devin Belt, the program director, and Nikaya Perry, the dean of students. Welcome, Devin and Nikaya. Love for you all to come off mute and give us a little brief background of the work of Sowing Seeds with Faith and share with us some of what you all do and what energizes you about this work.
Hello, my name is Devin Belt. I'm the program director of Sowing Seeds with Faith. Hannah, thank you for that great introduction. I think only thing that I kind of want to just cover is that we do Teen Talk, but we do a lot of different things inside the organization. We do tutoring, we do summer camp, and for the teens, we also did a summer intern opportunity where they were able to work with us this summer. And also, we do college and HBCU tours as well as allowing them in spaces to pour into the youth who are younger than them and to teach them and to become mentors themselves. What I do at Sowing Seeds with Faith is I oversee the programming, just making sure everything is operating correctly, our everyday activities, as well as any programming that you see going on with the organization. I guess what inspires me the most is just seeing that the teens grow, meeting them where they are, and just seeing their potential and just seeing their growth over the years. Coming to me with their ideas and different resources that they want to pour into the kids. Sometimes that we may not see from an adult perspective, but just know that they're always working and thinking about the bigger picture. I think that's most fulfilling for me as well. I'll pass it over to Miss Nakaya Perry, our Dean of Students.
Hello, everybody. My name again is Nikaya Perry, and I serve as the Dean of Students for Sowing Seeds with Faith. Thank you, Hannah, and thank you everyone for having us. We are very excited to be able to share about the work that we do. Something that just keeps me going with Sowing Seeds. I originally started out working as a college intern for the summer camp and then volunteering on the college tours. And so just being able to grow with the kids, like Devin was saying, I've been able to grow up in the program. One of the students that I originally started with, she's now in the fourth grade. And so this summer I got the opportunity to like just really see how she's evolved and grown. She advocates for herself now, and just being able to see all of our youth grow and go through the program from starting off shy to now they're advocating for themselves in spaces that we are not always with them in, but also within our space. So just being able to watch our youth grow and then hear about their ideas and the things that they want to do and bring to life is something that keeps me going.
Thank you so much, Nakaya and Devin. It has been a true honor to work alongside them. They are some of the best collaborators, just thoughtful communicators, and to see their passion and the way they show up for young people is just, it is a real honor. So thank you, Nakaya and Devin, for the work that you do. I'd love, before we jump into our youth panel, if either of you would be willing to share a little bit about the history of Teen Talks. How did it begin? What's the origin story, if you will?
I can share it. Okay, so Teen Talk started with our founder, Demarion Fleming. He had an ad he I forgot what the show was called, but it was a show that used to be on TV. And in this show that was on TV, they would allow the teens to talk and come together and have like basically therapy, but therapy on their level. We know that it doesn't always have to look like it's not cookie cutter experience. So allowing them to create their own space and owning it. That's where the idea originated from. And then we then we brought it to our teams, and then they created like a team committee with different ideas and things that we thought that they needed to talk about. So we gave them our ideas to start off, like maybe a different list of different ideas, and then with those ideas, they either took them, ran with them, or just made them better. I was like, no, I don't think this is something we need to talk about. We need to focus on this. So that's kind of how it started. We started really small, and now numbers have grown. We started, what was it, 2024 maybe, or maybe a little bit before. I think we might have been 2024. We actually started in the old JCYC before it started to be torn down. We were in a small resource room there. Actually, we had Joe from Bounce, who was from Bounce. She came out and talked to the students and different things about I don't even remember what she came and talked about because it's been so long ago. However, she did come in and do her greatness. Anytime that we have her in our space, it's definitely a great time. She's able to always connect with the students and meet them on her level, and she's also a familiar face for them. So that's how we started Teen Talk, and then we just allowed them to execute their space and tell us what they want to do, and it's from the menu, from the topic, and then we just asked them to invite people out and to own the space.
Well, thank you for that background. It's really remarkable to think about how Teen Talk started in a resource room serving, anywhere from 20 to 30 kids to now what we're seeing over 200, if not, a little bit more young people coming out once a month. Because this space is so important. And so it's a true testament to the importance of youth dialogue and letting young people lead. And so thank you, Devin and Nakaya, for creating and being part of building that infrastructure to allow young people to lead. So with that, I think it's time to let young people lead. So we're going to shift the dialogue over to our youth panelists today. And I have the honor to kind of facilitate this conversation. But before we kick things off, I'd love to hear from our young people. If you'd be willing to introduce yourself, if you'd share your name, how long you've been participating in Teen Talks, and one thing that you've learned about yourself as a result of participating. And feel free, whoever would like to jump in first.
Good morning. My name is Kamaya. I've been a part of Teen Talks for around 4 years now. And one thing I learned is like social skills that a lot of people my age kind of like lack, with phones, social media. I kind of learned how to just walk up to people and start a conversation. I also learned how to facilitate, how to start with just a food menu and then go from, okay, what can we talk about that's going on in our community that can make an impact this month? So, yeah.
Thank you, Kamaya.
Hey, how are you guys doing? I'm Josiah. Like Maya said, I've been around Teen Talk 4 to 5 years. As she stated, coming up to people was easier. Like once we start Teen Talk, I walk up to everybody, introduce myself, I get their name, make sure they feel comfortable, acquainted, ask how their day's been going, ask what their mental is, just get to know them, make sure I know everybody's name so they feel like they belong and they can speak up whenever we have our conversations.
Thank you, Josiah. I had the opportunity to connect with Josiah and Kamaya in advance of today's connection, and they provided a tour throughout one of their summer camps, and I was just blown away by their leadership. So we're really lucky to have them with us here today. So just to kick things off, let's talk a little bit about what is Teen Talks from your perspective. Can you all tell us a little bit about what is youth-led dialogue in the Teen Talk space, and why does it matter?
I feel that I feel that youth-led dialogue is us getting to connect with our peers, our age groups, even people older than us on a higher level of respect or just their feelings in general and how and letting them know that their opinion matters and what the conversation is and that they can express it to us, and then if they don't feel comfortable expressing it to their peoples, we can express it for them because it's what we're here for. It's just for them to get what they want to say off their chest, how they're feeling, just their emotions in general.
To go off what Joe said, I feel youth-led dialogue is basically just conversation for us, by us. Um, all the youth-led conversation that we have is created by high school students and then delivered and completed when you see the Teen Talks.
Can you all give us an example of something that you all have discussed? Maybe a topic that energized you and something that you took away from that conversation.
A topic that we just had recently, we did something different where we allowed parents to come to the Teen Talk. That just opened up a door for bigger and better conversations that go on within households. That definitely energized me because it taught me just how to communicate with my mom properly and then also understand what she sees from her point of view.
I feel like another good question we have during our Teen Talks is like it's more topic-based questions like say like this coming year, like throughout the year, it was prom season. We asked questions like what makes your prom night safe, what makes your prom night controlled, and what makes your prom night a chaos. Some people answered having good parent communication, good times to come back home, because some parents don't care enough to where their kids can go out and have fun all night and come home around 4 in the morning, and then there could be a whole bunch of chaos going on. That's like something we went to crowd control because that's some of the reasons why most kids in the youth don't have as much as they had back then because all we want to do is go outside, party, not break the rules, be on the waterfront bridge. That's like some of the questions we want to have in our teen talks to speak to them and want them to calm down and tone down just a little bit.
I appreciate you all talking about some of those topics. I know the adult teen talk night was really interesting in having both adults and youth in that space. And really, that originated from this desire to increase communication between parents and young people. And so, certainly, that new approach. Is just an evolution of how this work continues to evolve. And Josiah, I appreciate you talking about prom night. But really, what you all are speaking to is like youth are driving the direction and leading this space from the topics to even the people that are invited to be at the table. And I think that's really special. So let's transition into kind of the next question. So I want you all to set the scene. I want you all to paint like if I were to be invited to Teen Talks, what does it look like when you come into the space? How are young people setting up the night? And then tell me a little bit more about how and what Teen Talks mean to you all.
So Teen Talks normally start around 6 p.m. But if you're on like our youth panel, a lot of times it starts before that. So you have to, get the food and get whatever materials is needed. And as someone like if you're walking in for the first time, 9 times out of 10, you're greeted by either Miss B or Nakaya. But by the time you reach the room, you've spoken to at least 5 people, just because if we see a new face or even if we see someone that's returning, we're gonna reach out, we're gonna speak, we're gonna ask how are you doing, how's school going, how's your summer? And Teen Talk really just means to me like it's just a safe space. It's somewhere to go, somewhere to have good conversation and just build relationships.
Yeah, a little bit off what Kamai said. It's somewhere where the teenagers in this day and age can go be themselves and not worry about any violence around them. I feel Teen Talk is one of those spots where you're allowed to be a kid. Like some of our Teen Talks, we don't even have dialogue. We just have fun games. We just have times where we play kid games to make us feel like we're safe. You're able to be who you are here. There's really no type of um no problems. Everybody's really acquainted with each other. It just feels a really safe space.
Thank you all for speaking to that. So it's like teens are planning the night from the start to the end. And like it sounds like young people are so eager to get there. There's even a little bit of time in advance of the teen night where there's some informal connecting. And it feels like, too, based on what you all have said, that adults are kind of there to guide and support, but they're not taking the lead. The young people are taking the lead with the support of adult guides. And then the night could include dialogue or it could include fun and games. And so you all spoke a little bit about like the Youth Leadership Council. So tell me a little bit about that planning and what that process looks like. Do you all plan in advance of the teen night? How do you all land on what the topic is going to be that you all discuss?
So planning normally starts a week or two in advance. We have a group chat where we text and we send ideas. A lot of our ideas are created based off of what's going on in the community. So if we lost somebody recently, or if prom's happening, or graduation season, we kind of mold the conversation based off of where everybody's at in life in that moment. So sometimes topics repeat, sometimes we have something new. It just is based off a need. And then I would also say like it's just created that collaborating. So sometimes we're like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. So we have to come together and figure out a happy medium on how we can both get what we want and both get our conversations across.
Josiah, did you want to add anything else to that about the planning process and how you all go about designing the night?
No, like she stated, we all come together, we give our ideas. We normally use topics that's happening currently, or we normally go with a topic that's during that month. But yeah, she really covered pretty much everything on that topic.
So it sounds like not only are you all having a whole lot of fun, you're developing, these awesome relationships, but you're also gaining some skills along the way. Could you all share some of the skills that you've developed by either participating on the leadership team or by participating in the teen talk nights themselves?
Some of the skills I have developed is just like communication, planning, organization. But the most important skill that I would say that I've gained over these 4 years is how to stand up and be a leader, how to just like insert myself in any situation. And that's helped as I'm transitioning into college because you'll be so surprised how many people just can't walk up and start a conversation. But I've been molded to be able to do this for 4 years. So it's like, oh, hey, my name's Kamaya. And yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Some of the biggest leadership lessons I've learned when doing this is networking. I feel as if networking is probably going to be your biggest assets when helping. You got to be able to communicate with your peers. You got to be able to talk in uncomfortable situations. I feel like that's what that's taught me. It's taught me to be more outspoken, be more communicative, and be able to um have deeper dialogue with my age group and people older than me, younger than me, is be able to see people in their true color.
Thank you all for sharing that. And I can certainly see that those skills on display in my interactions with you all. Josiah is quite the networker, and Kamaya is quite the leader. So grateful for you all. Well, we'll transition to the next kind of larger question around, why is it important for young people to have spaces to talk about issues that are important to them?
I feel it's important. Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
I feel it's important to have young spaces for, oh, my bad, young youth speaking spaces for people. I feel it gives them the security that they need because most youth kids don't have that type of security or space they need to talk to people. They feel holding in your feelings is okay. They don't need to express them, because you can just deal with them day by day. That's not healthy. You need someone to talk to. You need someone to express that to. And your parents might not just be that person. So you might want to speak to someone your own age that you're comfortable with, that understands it.
Important because it lets you know that you're not alone in whatever you're going through. We have so many people that they're the student athlete, or I'm going back and forth with my mom right now, or I'm worried about my GPA. It just creates a space where like I have somebody, I have a community, and then it's also a space that's created that's not created anywhere else. The schools doesn't have it. It's no after school program. So when you come to Teen Talk, it's literally a one-on-one experience.
Oh, I love those. Those gave me goosebumps. Yeah, so that safe space, the ability to build relationships with your peers. And we know that this space touches across schools. It's not just for one school. It serves a community of kids and young people. And I love what you all said about knowing that you're not alone and finding community and the ability to talk about issues that matter. We need more spaces for youth led by youth, and I hope that this model becomes powerful in influencing some of those other spaces that we know that youth occupy. So, all right. Moving on to the next question. We got a couple more before we do an open call to our audience. So, the next one is, why is it important for youth to lead these spaces? Emphasis on the lead. Why is it important for youth to lead rather than adults?
I think it's so important because we know better than anyone. I feel like in a lot of spaces, it's decisions and choices being made for youth without any youth input or any youth facilitating. Whereas with this, it's like we know everything is going on because we're experiencing it. So we know this month that we need to have a conversation about gun violence, or next month we need to have a conversation about parent relationships because we're all experiencing the same things.
As Kamaya stated, it's more of a one-on-one thing. Like, we understand them. It's more of a comfortability part. Like, some kids aren't comfortable with telling their parents things that they're comfortable with telling us. And if they see that we're doing it, that makes them think that they can do it. We give them the example and they lead off of that.
Oh, I love that. I want to ask a follow-up question. How have you all seen even this programming shape your peers or your friends? How have you seen it shape them by them participating in the nights?
I've seen it shape them just off of the programming being that we make everything fun and cool. We make leadership look cool, whereas like social media, music, and everything else, they a certain type of they make certain type of behaviors seem right or cool. But when you come to teen talks, it's like, okay, doing the right thing, it's okay. Okay, being a leader is cool. Like we just change the whole mindset, and then it shifts really quickly.
I feel when a good amount of I've gotten to know a good amount of the kids that come to Tea Talk regularly, and I've seen them become way more expressive, way more vocal, way more, well, just in general, authority, like have show more authority, like from going from a quiet kid to more passionate person. I've seen that happen a lot with Teen Talk, even with me being there and me coming on the board.
That's awesome. I feel like I need to get that being a leader is cool on a t-shirt. And just say I love what you said about, um, seeing peers become more expressive and vocal, even that confidence growing. That's awesome. All right. Well, we've got two more. So the next question, what are the challenges that you've experienced when enacting this program? Have you all had any challenges leading it?
Yes, we have. As you know, we are the same age as the kids, and some kids, as you know, will come in as the first timers. They don't know the full um rule set. So some kids like while other people's talking after we answer them a question or they're trying to speak out, some kids will get anxious or will speak above other kids or get on their phones while other people is talking. And we like to have full respect all around. So we would sometimes have to text them, get off their phone so we're not disrupting the other person speaking. We're just getting onto a more of an acknowledging level with them. So it's not like we're embarrassing them. We're on the level with them. So that's like some challenges with that. But for the most part, we really don't have many challenges. Everybody's mostly well acquainted. They give us respect, we give them respect. It's more of a mutual thing.
Josiah, I appreciate you sharing a little bit about that and even kind of the solution. So, texting them, making it kind of under the radar, if you will, and making sure that they're really present in the space. Would you consider Teen Talks as in a no phone zone beyond like just checking in if needed on the phone?
Yeah, I would say for the most part, it is a no phone. There's really no rule against not having your phone out. It's more of like they're so engaged that they don't need to be on their phone. Like you have the occasional, oh, my parent texting me, go ahead and tell them what time they need to be here, this, and that, or you need to take the call. But for the most part, nobody's really on their phones when it comes to our team talk because they're so engaged. We always have something for them to do. We have a speaker speaking. That's how it's how in depth it gets in team talk.
Awesome. Thank you for speaking to that. We know that more and more young people are eager for opportunities to engage and trying to find alternatives to screen time and being on phones. So it's exciting to hear that young people are so engaged. Um, all right, we'll go ahead and transition to the last question for you all. And that next question is, we'll go ahead and go to the next question. What do you wish adult partners knew? What do you wish adult partners knew?
That everything doesn't have to be handled. Oh, that everything doesn't have to be handled with a heavy hand or by force. You can come down to that level. You don't have to be that overbearing authority figure that always disciplines the kid every time they do something wrong. That makes the kid want to get quiet or doesn't want to be there with you. So come down to their level, see how they're feeling, check in a little bit, getting a little bit of leeway, and they'll come towards you.
One thing that I wish adult partners knew, just be support, let the youth lead, let them facilitate, and then just be support and be there to stand behind them.
Thanks for that. We know that sometimes adults can step in with good intentions, but we find that youth are capable of handling so much, and we have to give them the opportunity and the space to do so. So thank you, Kamaya and Josiah, for speaking to some of that. All right, at this time, now we're going to transition to open Q&A for everyone on this call. So if you have questions for Kamaya, Josiah, or even Nakaya and Devin, we welcome those questions now at this point. So feel free to raise your hand and I can call on you to answer, to ask your question.
It's a
Or drop
couple
it.
questions in the chat already.
Yeah, jump in, Devin.
Okay, so the first question says, what topics have you found to be most engaging or most important for teens to talk about? Do you all want to jump in?
Our most engaging and important conversations have mainly been relationships, communication, and gun violence. I would say would be the top three that we get the most engagement on.
Okay. The next question is, it says, what's your advice for ways to keep youth continuing to attend the meetings?
And give them something to look for, like give them something to look forward to. Make every team talk an experience to want to have again. Always have something creative for them to do. Because I feel with certain things, as adults try to do, they make everything so generic to where the kids just be sitting there tired, yawning, looking at the clock every 5 seconds and they're ready to go. Just keep the kids engaged, active, and that's what makes them want to come back.
I'll also add something that I noticed our team starting to do was having themes for each of the team talk. I feel like that was making it more engaging. Like during Halloween, they had like a matching pajamas, like a spooky pajama thing. And then also sometimes we will have like priority registration for certain events. Like at the beginning of the year, I know with our spring HBCU tour, like if you come to some of them, that's when like they'll get information that the link will drop that day. So they'll have like priority registration to be able to do certain stuff.
Hey, it looks like another question came through. It says, what are the group's thoughts on violence, such as causes, and possible future solutions? I don't know if we came to any possible solutions with our conversation, except kind of just being involved with Sowing Seeds with Faith, and surrounding yourself with positive individuals. I will let them speak on it, but what I did hear from the meetings is it's about the kids that you choose to be around. It's about the people that you choose to be with. And what that looks like, and it may be a long-term friend, and they're just making wrong decisions, and you correct them, but you only can correct someone so many times before that you see that that is the lifestyle that they want to live. So just separating yourself from those type of people. We've had people who have engaged in violence in the organization, and we love on them just the same, but we do still tell them right from wrong, and still hold them accountable. If you all want to jump in and say anything, you're more than welcome.
I do think we're creating the safe spaces, we're creating the opportunities, but at the end of the day, like it's a choice. So we're always a call away, a text away. Anybody on the youth committee, Miss B, Nakaya, we're always a text away. I know it's a few people that they came and like just hung out with me. They wanted to get away from school or their neighborhood. Come pull up on me. We could talk. We can watch a movie, whatever. So doing the right thing is always right around the corner. So that would be like the only solution is that it's really a personal choice at the end of the day.
Okay. Here's another question. The next question is, how do you bring team talks to other communities where there may not be opportunities like this for youth? I think overall, We kind of try to pick a central location for Teen Talk, and Teen Talk is open to everyone. It may just be a lot of kids who know about sowing seeds with faith, but we open it to all communities. When we share it on social media, they even have their own page on social media. So we definitely try to get the word out there, even through schools and different things like that. With our partnerships with JCPS and other organizations throughout the community. Um, Look like Miss Nikki. I mean, no, Hannah is asking me and Nakaya, when students discuss a difficult topic, does the organization ever follow up? Okay, so we have something where we don't open certain wounds. Unless we do have a therapist or someone on site to help smooth those wounds or try to close those wounds up. So when I say that, that means like we may not talk about things that could be detrimental to the students. We do always check in about mental health check-ins. We do ask about we do talk about suicide, and we have had people come in and talk about suicide. So we try to use our outside resources when we're talking about heavy topics so that we can have the support and resources there to help when that challenge does come along. Yeah. Okay. I don't see any other questions. Oh, hold on, let me make sure.
I think I had one more, and it was just what recommendations would you give to organizations that want to start programming like this?
I would say just make sure you may already have a relationship with the students. I think that's the biggest thing. Um, because the kids will gravitate towards the kids, but you need them to do something for you as well. So sometimes incentives work for them, but I think just overall the relationship and what you want it to look like. It doesn't have to be topics that we deal with. It may be other topics that they have going on. But I know that they always want to talk about relationships, whether it's with their parents, whether it's romantic relationships at this age, however, are just relationships with friendships. They just always want to talk about that. So that could be a good topic. That's an easy topic to talk about good friends and what good friendships look like and things like that. I think that might have been kind of where we started off with ours, and then it kind of escalated and went more in depth as time went on, as everyone had grown to be more comfortable. I hope that it was helpful for you.
Yes. Well, can we all do like a little virtual round of applause for
Mhm.
all our panelists and participants? I mean, just an incredible job. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have had you all on here today and just have been able to hear your voices. So thank you all so much. I know I've learned a lot, and I hope participants today have also learned a lot. Well, if you are interested in starting your own version of Teen Talks, the Bounce Coalition collaborated with Sowing Seeds with Faith to develop a training for young people as well as a training for adults. So we'd certainly be happy to think about how to bring this opportunity to more young people across the Commonwealth. So if that's of interest to you, I do encourage you to reach out. We'll be sure to drop the correct information in the chat below. And at this time, I will go ahead and kick it on over to Dr. Naomi Hadley to wrap us up for today.
I just want to say thank you to all of the teams, to Kamaya, Josiah. Thank you so much for your insight, for your candor. You've just done a great job talking about Teen Talks and giving us your honest feedback. And to Devin, thank you so much for facilitating the questions there. You did an awesome job. And Nakia, thank you so much for being here. And Hannah, you also did an awesome job facilitating those questions. So the last thing we have is a survey. It has already been dropped into the chat. We'd love to get your feedback. We actually do read through all of the survey responses and look at the data. It does help us to plan for the next Ground Rounds event. So please take some time now to complete the survey. It is again in the chat, and we thank everyone for being here. We'll stay on if you have any additional questions or any feedback for us. But thank you again for being on this Grand Rounds.
Thank you. Also, we do open our Teen Talk. Miss Nikki has been to a few of our Teen Talks. I think that maybe the last 2 or 3 Teen Talks that we have had. And we do open it to like the community if you want to come out and check it out, or you want to bring any teens from organization. We're more than welcoming for that opportunity as well.
Our next one is scheduled for August 15th.
As a follow-up, we can send that out because we typically send the recording out. If you all are okay with that, we'll send it out and with the follow-up email.
Yes, that's perfectly fine.